If you want some, come get some.
This is such good
I am the visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth.
I can't give the belt to Dusty, but I can give it to my mama. I can give it to my mommy.
Acknowledge me.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
What's up, everybody, and welcome. This is Rasslin with Ryan.
Yes, sir, it is.
Been
a minute.
Rasslin with Ryan and Ryan. How
Yes.
you doing, man?
I'm good. Home for summer, done with school.
Good.
Got
Good.
one more semester,
Oh,
then I'll be a
great,
college
huh?
grad.
Did you pass?
4 A's, 1 B.
Not good. No, I'm joking.
What-
That's fucking
what-
excellent. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. So,
Of course, we're sporting our guys.
exactly.
That's not the best in the world. I don't know why that shirt says it, because the last real champ and the true GOAT is right here on this T-shirt.
If you're not watching it on YouTube, then he's wearing a CM Punk shirt, just like I am. But if you are watching, he's wearing a John Cena shirt. And we all know that John Cena's washed nowadays, but that's not what we're talking about.
He just put on a banger with Randy Orton.
That's more of a burger. No, I'm joking. That was a good
Banger.
match.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. But anyway,
talk
what do we talk about?
We can talk about that match for a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about that match. We won't go over
Yeah.
Backlash because it's already a little bit
Yeah.
past. But we can talk about the last time
Yeah.
Cena and Orton.
Exactly.
I liked the match. I thought it was fun, and honestly, out of all the matches I've seen of theirs,
hmm
I would argue that this was one of their better ones.
I think so too. I mean, we did the review of the Cena Orton match at Breaking Point 2009. I think that was their best match. And then I think you can put this one up there. I mean, look, they had a lot of matches. Not all of them were great, but this one, I think, considering where John Cena is in his career, the limited availability, the limited wrestling that he gives us, considering where Randy's at in his career, with the injuries and him, both of them just being older. I think, hey, they as Pat Patterson would say, there was a lot of gaga in that match.
Yeah,
There was. But
I
they
know.
needed it.
I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's just a finisher fest." Yeah, but it worked for guys like Cena and Orton, especially
Yeah.
with like you said, their age, their injuries.
Mhm.
I thought it was great. The St. Louis crowd was into it the whole time.
Yeah.
Now the interesting thing is what I saw on Twitter, and even after the matches, Cena started showing, looks like he had to have some regret.
Yeah.
I think babyface Cena is slowly starting to creep out again.
Yeah, and so he started showing it. He didn't say anything, but just the visuals. That's what, if anything, what John Cena is still great at is he still gives you a lot of visuals on his face.
Yeah, and one thing is, even after the match, even though he was the heel, St. Louis was chanting "Thank you, Cena," and he got emotional, and that's when we started to see like the old babyface
Yep.
Cena. And
Yep.
then the press conference, he actually started to say, like, you know what, I haven't been the best to you guys. He's like, so I'm here. I'll answer any questions you have. I got to be better at, talking to you guys. And then R-Truth came and ruined it. R-Truth came and
Look,
ruined
it
it.
is part of it's. So I think Sam Roberts, if you listen to his podcast, he kind of put it in a good perspective of like, so the heel Cena was kind of glitching out, and he was kind of reverting back to the old Cena, saying how he needs to be better, and you guys put in your hard work. That was the old Cena kind of slipping out a little bit. And then R-Truth came and kind of just reminded Cena why he's still a heel. And then told him, look, Ron, say one
That
more
was over
word.
the line.
Yeah.
You say one more word, and I promise there'll be repercussions.
But John, no.
Then he gave him an AA through the table, and then Cena's like, no more questions. And he walked off.
We haven't seen Cena since because he doesn't like coming to work.
We haven't seen Cody since WrestleMania.
He's taking off.
Cena has showed up to work more than that bum
Oh
that
my
Stardust
gosh.
has since
Cody's
WrestleMania.
carried the company in his back for the last 2 years.
No. Cena carried the company for well over a decade. I like to see Cody do that. Oh yeah, that's right. He can't.
Oh
He
my gosh.
can't.
This next decade.
Nah. Bro's about to be 40. Bro's about to be 40.
You know who's about to be 50? Your boy. Your boy is.
So?
But that takes us to the last 2 weeks of Monday Night Raw. And we've been building, literally just been building for Saturday night's main event. for Raw and SmackDown. It's a loaded show coming up.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is probably the best card for a Saturday night's main event since they brought it back.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's see, you have four matches. We have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre inside a steel cage. I think that match is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that match might possibly be show of the night or
Yeah,
match of the night.
Yeah.
I think that has a potential to be match of the night. You have CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this should be a very crazy match. You're gonna have a lot of like resentment and anger towards one another. It's gonna be a hard hitting match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all four men they're gonna go out and put on a show. And then what else? What else we got? Oh, we got Jey Uso, Yeet versus that bum ass Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh my gosh. Let me put my phone on do not disturb real quick.
So, I mean, that match,
Yeah.
I mean, the match has potential, but I don't have any big expectations out of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the GOAT versus R-Truth in a non-title match,
Mm-hmm.
which I think some people find surprising. I don't really find it surprising because it's just like all of a sudden R-Truth of all people gets a title shot.
Right.
Not saying that like, oh, he's not deserving of a title shot, but it makes sense because he even says like, I don't want to fight John. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to fight him.
Well,
he's like,
yeah.
but if I have to beat him to get him back to his senses, then I will.
So this doesn't seem as much of a match it is. It's gonna be this is more of the storyline to the next feud for John Cena.
What
Kinda
I
like the
think,
buffer in between.
Yeah, what I think should happen is I think Cena should squash R-Truth.
Well, I think that's gonna happen
because I think Cena should actually show his heel tendencies and just like beat the hell out of R-Truth, and he beats him so bad we don't see R-Truth for weeks.
Well, I think what's gonna happen. So I think this kind of the order of Saturday Night's main event is gonna be really important. So I think if I was booking it, I would have CM Punk and Sami Zayn in the tag match with I would have them open against Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. Then somewhere in between you have Drew and Damian. What's the other match? Oh,
Logan Paul,
Jey Uso.
That's probably going to be the main event of the show.
Probably. Yeah, I would say that's going to be the true main event. And then I think I don't think we're going to really get a match between Cena and Truth. I think it might be more of a beatdown.
It's going to be more of a fight.
And then somebody's going to come in to save Truth. I don't know who it's going to be. I'd rather it not be Cody yet. But I think if they have CM Punk come in, well, then you have Money in the Bank. I feel like it's too soon to set up because I feel like
because from what I've heard, the rumors say that Punk Cena is not happening at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, it's
right now. Most rumors are saying that it's Cena and Travis Scott versus Stardust and a mystery partner.
Stardust.
And a lot of people are saying that mystery partner is going to be Bad Bunny.
When at SummerSlam?
No, at Money in the Bank.
It could happen. Cody could come out. For that, but
I hope not. He can stay gone. His ass can stay gone. We don't need him. We don't need his ass anymore.
I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be shocking if Cody were to come back and then they could set that match up for Money in the Bank. But, I mean, logically it could happen, but I would rather see Cody just stay back a little bit and then have somebody set up for SummerSlam for John Cena. But then I know they're going to probably want John Cena on that Money in the Bank card as well, so.
He is going to be on the. I think he is going to be on the card.
Yeah,
we don't know what capacity, but I think he's going to be on the card. Whether it's a singles match, whether he's defending the title, or a tag match with Travis Scott.
Yeah, could be. Yeah,
I just want to see Cena whoop some more ass.
Oh my gosh!
Because this is the last real champion. This man is going to retire as the last real champion, and he's going to change the entire WWE landscape when he retires. All right. And that's the bottom line. It's the truth. It's the truth.
Oh my gosh. Okay, R-Truth. Okay. Going back here, okay? Let's preview Saturday Night's main event in total now. All right, we just talked about Cena and R-Truth, maybe it being a match, maybe it not being a match. How do you think it goes down, really?
I think it'll be a match, but I think it's gonna be more of like a brawl or like a fight than like anything and like a beatdown and
Yeah.
like
But yeah, I still think somebody's going to come out and save to kind of close the show on a happy note.
yeah. We'll see, but I think however this goes, I think it's gonna favor John Cena. So
Yeah.
um, and then let's see, you have the tag match,
Hmm.
CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth and Braun.
I would give Seth and Braun the win here.
Yeah, I would too. I think they need it, and I think we have a twist coming. You know who I think the third man is?
Who?
Sami Zayn.
Mm,
Sami Zayn's the third man.
that's possible. That would be if they were to do something like that, then I would close the show with that. That's such a big angle right there where you need to close the show with it. If not, if it's a straight up 1, 2, 3, maybe obviously they cheat to win or somebody they reveal the third guy. Um, I would have that more than Sami Zayn turning because Sami Zayn turning, that's a big deal right there.
I mean, they teased it a little bit when Jay was celebrating and the way Sammy was looking at him and standing behind him.
Yeah,
So I think it's only a matter of time before
yeah,
we see somebody turn, whether it's Sammy or somebody else.
yeah. I think it should be a younger guy, that they plug into this group, kind of like the way Triple H had Evolution.
And that's what people are saying. People are saying that, Braun Breaker is like the Batista,
Yeah,
and then Seth is the Triple H,
yeah,
and then Paul Heyman's like the Ric Flair,
yeah,
and then you still need that young gun like a Randy Orton. So
right.
some people, some people have theorized that it could be Austin Theory,
That would be something. I mean,
but I don't think so because it looks like they're teasing an Austin Theory babyface run.
yeah, then you have to deal with Grayson Waller, or do you put both of them?
It's
they're such a
tough.
they're such a comedy act at this point. Like,
I mean,
without getting into like the downfall of Austin
I
Theory.
mean, Austin Theory's a bum
Oh
regardless,
my gosh,
so it doesn't matter.
this guy.
He's
This
a
is
bum. He's a bum
let me
regardless
tell you
whether
something about
he's a
Brian
good guy
here.
or a bad guy. He's a bum.
Most wrestling fans, I mean, not okay. Look, the cat's out of the bag. All right, people know about kayfabe, but if you ever had thought to yourself, dude, man, is kayfabe still alive? This is the guy that, man, kayfabe lives in his heart still.
Austin Theory's a bum. Logan Paul's a bum.
Proving my point. Proving my point. Kayfabe is
You're
alive and
fickle.
well.
You're
Exactly,
fickle. All you idiotic fans are fickle.
dude. You're about to get like become a meme on the internet now.
Nah, nah.
No, no. Anyways,
You better watch yourself, Mike.
oh my gosh, I'll put you through this table.
I'm gonna add it to. I'm gonna give you an AA through this table right here. You
Yeah,
ain't gonna see it coming.
you couldn't even pick me up if you wanted to.
I don't have to.
Anyways, we are going back to the tag match. How do you think it shakes out?
I do think Seth and Braun get the win. I don't think it'll be clean. It shouldn't be clean
Mm-hmm.
because I think they got to legitimize themselves as like a strong stable. And if they lose, it not that it would hurt them, but that would already derail a lot of their momentum.
Yeah.
You got to keep them hot,
Yeah.
and if you have them beat, a fan favorite like CM Punk, it's also going to get them more heat.
Right.
We'll see because Seth is still getting pops when he comes out, even though he's a heel now.
Exactly.
He's still getting pops.
Yeah. Exactly. So we'll see.
Shout out to the Greenville, North Carolina crowd because they were singing CM Punk's
Oh
song.
yeah, we can talk about that. CM Punk came out at the very end. That was very cool.
Yeah, that's one of the very few American crowds that actually like was hyped up like the entire time.
Not like Louisville, Kentucky last week.
Nah. But no, they were singing Punk's theme song and it was it was great. I enjoyed it because it's like, a lot of these American crowds are like not that you have you have like your New York, your Chicago, your LA. You have like, you do have your good wrestling crowds
Mm-hmm.
but you have a lot of ones that are like, why are you doing a show here?
Right.
But this crowd, yeah, this was a good crowd.
It was. It was. Now to the World Heavyweight Title match. It's not a three-way like the way they've been kind of promoting it on Raw, but it's a one-on-one match between World Heavyweight Champ Jey Uso and I feel like future World Champion Logan Paul.
No.
Now look, I'll admit to you that I don't think Logan Paul is winning this match, but I really do think this guy. It's only a matter of time that they put the rocket behind this guy and
So
launch him.
so he could defend his title twice for another 300 days like they did with
Sure.
the US Championship.
I mean,
Because
they
he's the worst US champion in history.
I want to say the worst.
Tied with that bum Austin
I want
Theory.
to say the worst. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
I'd rather have Shinsuke as
I
champ
was gonna
than Logan Paul.
really.
I'd rather have anybody else be champion other than Logan Paul because Logan Paul doesn't deserve it. He shouldn't be nowhere near a wrestling ring.
How would you react if Logan Paul beat John Cena for the title?
Oh hell no, that ain't gonna happen. Hell no.
Would you like write WWE an angry letter?
No,
Would you stop watching WWE?
no, because WWE is my life and it's my love and my passion.
But how would that make you feel? Or not even that. You know that Logan Paul's gonna be a world champion.
He shouldn't be. He doesn't deserve it. He's not even that good of a wrestler.
Oh my gosh.
He's not. He is not that good of a wrestler.
You're on one today.
No, he's not that good of a
You're
wrestler.
on one today.
He's not that good on
This is
the
what
mic
happens
either.
when we go 2 weeks without
Yeah,
recording.
he's
and
not
it's-
that good on the mic and he's not that good of a wrestler. His move set is just recycled moves that better wrestlers have done.
Really?
That better wrestlers have
Really?
executed.
Really? Wow. So when they say they compare him to guys like Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, the guys that have taken the sport,
Yeah, but Kurt Angle could actually wrestle.
wow. And Logan Paul can't wrestle?
No, Logan Paul can't. He's a terrible wrestler. He's terrible on the mic. Like,
Wow.
you can come at me all you want. He's not
You're just
that
giving the
great.
hot takes
He's all
today.
hype. He's all hype. That's it. He's
You're
nothing
just
more.
giving the hot
He's
takes
nothing
today, Ryan.
more.
Oh my gosh. You need a drink?
Nah.
Jeez Louise. Well, anyways, how do you think this match is gonna go?
I think Jay is gonna win, and I would not be surprised if Gunther's like ringside
Yeah.
for the match.
I think he
You know,
interferes somehow.
Scoping it because he did say whoever wins, he's challenging on the June 9th episode of Raw in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that.
Yeah.
And June 9th, that's actually the Raw after Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So people are saying that there's potential for there to be a possible cash in.
There could be.
It could be. It all depends on who wins the Money in the Bank. But yeah, a lot of people are saying that there's potential for a cash in, whether it's like Gunther wins it back and then somebody cashes in on Gunther and then boom, there's Gunther's next feud.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that there is, but there's a lot of rumbling saying that there is room for a potential cash in on that episode of Raw.
Now we won't get into predictions for Money in the Bank. We'll probably save that for the next episode.
Yeah, when it gets a little bit closer, and we have more info on who's going to be in the match, because right now there's no men in the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but I mean, look, yeah, it's definitely possible there is a cash in on that June 9th episode of Monday Night Raw. I think it's certainly possible that Jey Uso retains on Saturday night's main event, and then he also retains on June 9th. But then who knows going into the future what's going to happen. So all good stuff happening on Monday Night Raw. On the SmackDown side, what's been going on?
Well, we have a new addition to the SmackDown roster, Julia, which I think is a fine pickup for SmackDown.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a new addition to Raw too.
Roxanne Perez, another great pickup.
Now
I definitely think it helped even it out. You have Roxanne on Raw, Julia on SmackDown. I think that's the way to do it because it evens it out. That way it's not like, oh man, I think both are tremendous in-ring performers and talents.
Mm-hmm.
And Roxanne has a bright future. She is the future. Not to give too much of a prediction, but
yeah,
she might be a women's world champion at the end of this year.
Certainly. Now look, Dirty Dom. I'm going to look right into the camera here. There was a reel that I saw today sent to Ryan, and it's absolutely true. What this guy said: if you go for the three-peat, Dirty Dom, first with Rhea, then Liv, then now Roxanne. If you go for the three-peat on this, Dirty Dom, my God, you are the man. Something about that mullet and that mustache. Look I have neither. I have a good beard. I don't have much hair. But I'll give it to you credit, bro. If you can get the three-peat on that, then heck, man, you are more than a Hall of Famer than your dad. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how Tom's pulling all these girls, but he is.
Yeah. Maybe
But
you should have a mullet going on, dude. Get a little mustache. Yeah.
but yeah.
Anyways.
Anyways, and then yeah.
Yeah. So SmackDown.
SmackDown. Oh, we had two women's qualifiers.
Yeah.
My girl Alexa, she won. So
Mm,
she's moving on to Money in the
I'm
Bank.
surprised that they're just putting her on television. I mean, she's been off television for the longest time.
Because I think they're still trying to figure out if they're going to put her with the white six. I don't want her with the white six.
Yeah.
I love Alexa. She's my girl, but like I don't want her with the white six. I don't want her to have any relation to the Fiend at all anymore. I want her to be on her own again.
Mhm.
Like personally, and it's not just me. I want her to be the goddess again.
Just
They need to bring back the goddess.
Just get rid of that damn Lily doll.
Do you want to know why they won't get rid of it? Because it sells.
Yes.
No, it sells. That's the only reason why she still has it, because it's like a top seller.
Exactly.
So, because amongst the women, she's one of the highest selling in terms of like merchandise, and so, and she's like super over with the crowd right now too.
Yeah.
And then who else advanced on the SmackDown side? Because you had Roxanne, Alexa. Oh, and Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. Yeah. But anyways, we'll get to more of that. Then you had
episode, yeah.
all breaks,
All
no
gas, no breaks.
Ra-
Jacob, fa, boo.
Ramin.
Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah.
Solo, man,
They're
he's
just Who would have thought he was so good on the microphone?
as a comedic character.
Yeah,
I mean, his comedic timing is pretty good.
I would say it's pretty
And
good.
then we saw the in-ring debut of JC Mateo.
Uh-huh.
That's the new name for Jeff Cobb, JC Mateo.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also teasing some tension with
Yeah,
them
eventually.
and Jacob.
Yeah.
I think what this is leading to, and it's like you said, Jacob's getting a babyface run.
Oh, for sure.
He's gonna get a singles push. He's a world champion in the making.
Yeah, I mean, this has been the case ever since before WrestleMania. They've been kind of teasing this.
Yeah, and then especially after Backlash when he won, you saw he was looking at them like why are you guys out here? What are you doing?
Right. And so they've been building this. It's been a slow burn, but I think when they finally get that moment where Jacob Fatu just lets loose on those guys, it's going to be a great moment for him, and he's going to be a totally full-fledged babyface.
And he's super over with the crowd.
Yeah.
He gets one of the loudest reactions out of anybody on the SmackDown roster right now.
Yeah. He's going to be, I mean, he's a top babyface in that company.
For sure. Yeah, he's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He's great all around.
Exactly. If he wasn't holding the U.S. title, I would probably have him as a dark horse Money in the Bank winner. But since he is U.S. champion, they wouldn't put the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Well, an interesting thing actually, I just remembered we do have a somebody in the men's Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Solo Sikoa.
Oh, that's right.
He
did
won.
Qualify. Yeah,
he qualified. I'm not saying he's gonna win, but it's interesting because it could tease a potential of what'll happen, and this all hypothetical. Let's say if Solo wins and becomes world champion, again, it's all hypothetical. How is Jacob gonna feel if he wants to be world champion? Is he really gonna go after Solo for the world title, or what? And again, like I said, it's all hypothetical, but there's potential there for if Solo wins Money in the Bank.
Here's the problem with Money in the Bank now. It's like I feel like it's a concept that kind of wore itself out, and I feel like the cash-ins over the years have all kind of been the same. And then you got to think about it too.
You have some good ones,
right? But
last year's was good.
Who are they legitimately? If they're gonna put the briefcase on somebody, it's got to be somebody that can truly take the title off either Cena, Cody, or all the top guys, right?
Or even Jay or whoever world champion will be.
I mean, Jay's kind of like the lesser of the few,
but it's because now you have that potential for it to be cashing on either world champion. Where for a couple years, it's like, oh well, nobody's gonna cash in on Roman.
Right, exactly.
When he
Brock,
was
yeah.
before he won the WWE championship
Yeah.
and unified them, it's like, oh well, we know nobody's gonna cash in on Roman, so that means they're going to cash in on whoever the
And-
WWE champion is.
Well, and honestly, they wouldn't do a cash-in on John Cena.
No, I don't think that's how they would end his
Yeah.
his reign. I don't
I
think
think that would be horrible.
I
for
don't think
his-
yeah, I don't think that's the way to go.
Mhm.
And what I would want and I wouldn't be mad at is if we actually had somebody hold the Money in the Bank for a while, because we have not seen that.
Well, Damian Priest held it for quite a long time.
Yeah, but like I think I've pitched this to you. I think it'd be really interesting if we have it where like the Money in the Bank winner like hasn't cashed in yet, and it's the next Money in the Bank,
Mhm.
and it's like say the Money in the Bank ladder match is the main event,
Yeah.
and it's like they technically only have like a couple hours to cash in, and if they don't cash in, like that, I think that would be an interesting story if the Money in the
Yeah.
Bank winner doesn't cash in within the year.
Right, exactly. I think they do definitely need to change the setup of it, because waiting a whole year just gets kind of stagnant. You saw it with Damian Priest. Every single week he'd come out as, whatever, what do you call himself?
Senor.
Senior, whatever. Senior bullshit. But it just gets to a point where it's boring and they lose on TV because they have the Money in the Bank briefcase, and it kind of protects them in that way. I don't like that. I think they need to set more rules on it. And I think it's like one of those things where, like, hey, if you have the briefcase, you have this much amount of time to
And,
cash
and it should be like you can't have somebody else cash in for you, like we
Right.
saw Rhea was gonna do. It's like they should be like, no, nobody else can cash in for you.
Mhm.
You have to be the one to cash in. You have this amount of time, and yeah, like you said, lay some more rules and be like, yeah, because
Yeah.
we've seen it where it's like
Or
other
it's like-
people try to
yeah.
cash in for them. It's like why you're not the Money in the Bank contract holder.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like you take the element of surprise out of it, where it's like the winner has to call their shot. So it's kind of like setting up a match.
Like what Cena did, where he's like, I'm gonna cash in on the 1000th episode of Raw
Yeah,
in the main event.
right. So it just changing it up for the sake of changing it, because I think like the concept now is just like kind of played itself out.
What I
And then-
think what I think could potentially work is if they have till the end of the year
Mhm.
to win to
Yeah.
cash in, not a whole year,
but like
but
the-
until the end of the year, until pretty much New Year's Eve. Like
Yeah.
they have until New Year's Eve to cash in, and if they don't, they're no longer Money in the
You
Bank,
know what'd be something?
or the contract is just void.
it'd be something. John Cena's last match goes out as the last real champion, retains. Money in the Bank winner cashes in, beats him on his last match.
We'll see.
No,
What
it's not
what
gonna
I
happen.
think what I think. I'm not saying this will happen. I've seen some people say this. Like I love Cena, but some people are like, oh, imagine if John Cena wins the briefcase and then that way no one cashes in on him, or he cashes in and wins the world title. I like believe me, I love Cena, but it's like no, that's stupid. That's dumb.
Right.
That's just another waste of the briefcase.
Right.
Like last year was a waste of the briefcase with Drew cashing in and then Punk
Yeah.
coming in the costumes. Like no, we need a legitimate run with the Money in the Bank contract.
Exactly.
And we actually needed to build up a star, because the last couple of years, it's like we've already seen established stars win it.
Right.
It's like they don't need it. We need to see an up and comer win it.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, I agree.
but it's hard because you don't really have a lot of guys right now that have that potential to break off into the world title picture.
Exactly. So, we kind of covered Money in the Bank. What are some early SummerSlam predictions? Do you think?
Mm,
Because I think if I had to guess, Cena's either facing Cody or Punk at SummerSlam.
I would like if he faces Punk,
Yeah.
because SummerSlam is, and since it's the first 2-night SummerSlam, so it's basically like, a second WrestleMania. If you want to stack it up to be like, a really big show, I think you do Cena versus Punk. I think that's your main event of night 2.
Right. And I forgot that it's 2 nights this year.
So this is what I think it should be. The World Heavyweight Championship is the main event of night 1.
Mhm.
The WWE Championship is the main event of night 2.
Right.
But it also depends on who the World Heavyweight Champion is come SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Because that's a question mark. It could be Jay. It could be Gunther. It could be somebody else.
Right. Exactly.
And also SummerSlam is the possibility for there to be a Money in the Bank cash-in.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which I think, like I know we just said we would want to see a long run. But that would be interesting because it would be a total surprise if
Right.
somebody cashed in at SummerSlam.
Yeah, definitely.
And I definitely think it would like, bring a sense of like shock value to like the overall show.
Yeah.
So the Money in the Bank, I think after Money in the Bank is going to go a long way in determining what SummerSlam is going to look like.
Yeah, exactly. I just, for me, Dark Horse, Money in the Bank. I honestly, I know Logan Paul's gonna lose it at Saturday Night's Main Event, but like, dude, I could see him with the briefcase.
Well, it depends on if they put him in a qualifying match or not.
Yeah.
Because we'll see. Because so far we've only had like one qualifying match, and then we have another one this coming Friday on SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's Aleister Black, LA Knight,
Yeah.
and I think
Nah.
is it Carmelo?
Might be, but Carmelo Hayes, he's always losing, so whatever.
I mean, I still think he has a bright future.
Yeah.
But I think just right now it's kind of like, this is kind of the part where it's like, you're losing, but I think this is how they build him up. I think this is how he takes the next step.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, oh, he's gonna win Money in the Bank. No. It's too soon for him to win Money in the Bank, and he's not like he hasn't been built up strong enough to win Money in the Bank.
Right.
But like I still think he has a bright future ahead of him.
Exactly.
So, but I personally, I would like to see like a up and comer win both Money in the Bank, even on the women's side.
Logan Paul and
Oh, God, anybody but Logan Paul.
on the
Anybody
women's
but
side, I
Logan
think
Paul.
that's interesting. I mean,
I feel like
Roxanne
Roxanne
could
could
be.
potentially be Miss Money in the
Yeah.
Bank.
she could be. Then she can kind of just ride out the year with it.
Yeah, and then it depends on who else is, because we know Alexa's in it, Rhea's in it, and Roxanne's in it. So it all depends on who else is
It
put in
also
the
would make
match.
things interesting if she kind of is in this whole like Judgment Day thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
if she had the briefcase on her too, that would make her more
yeah.
intriguing.
And another thing is there's another woman's Money in the Bank qualifying triple threat on SmackDown. It's Julia, Charlotte Flair, and somebody else. I hope, I pray to God it's Julia. I pray to God it's Julia.
Or
I
it could be my.
I don't want Charlotte in the Money in the Bank. Like, just for the love of God, Paul Levesque, I'm talking to you. For the love of God, keep Charlotte far away from the Money in the Bank.
Or it could be my wife over in Mexico, Stephanie Vakir. It could be her.
Yeah, you know what I think would be great is if they had like a triple threat or a qualifying match on NXT and they have an NXT one. I think that would be great.
Yeah, exactly.
I think even for the men's, have an NXT competitor in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I think that would be great. It'd be a great exposure for NXT, and it would help build up the future. Even if they don't win, it would help build up their stock and build up their future.
Exactly.
It would get more eyes on NXT. It's a win-win all around.
Listen to the guy, Triple H. Listen to the guy.
Yeah, listen to me, Paul.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, yes. So we covered Money in the Bank. I asked earlier SummerSlam predictions. Yeah, I think it's kind of still early, but I think going into the World Heavyweight Title program, it's probably still going to be Logan Paul, Jey Uso, and Gunther.
I think it's still going to revolve around those three.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could have AJ Styles involved in the mix. Maybe.
Yeah.
It depends.
But then again, Seth Rollins is still now he's kind of like making his presence known that he wants the world title back.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Seth is world champion again.
It could be Seth versus Jay at SummerSlam as well.
That would be something, especially because they've had each other's backs the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And now it's all of a sudden it's like, well, I told you if you're not with us, then there would be consequences.
Yeah.
And then the biggest consequence would be like, Jay's all hyped up, and his biggest consequence is he loses the very thing he fought his ass off for.
Yeah.
To a guy like Seth.
Yeah.
I like, Seth's my guy. I definitely think Seth's going to be world heavyweight champion
for
again.
sure. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
He's definitely going to be world heavyweight champion by the end of the year, possibly at SummerSlam. Like I said, it all depends on who the champion is and what the story is heading into SummerSlam.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the WWE title match, like I said, either Cody or Punk. I think those are the two main right there that you put in a match with Cena at SummerSlam.
Yeah,
but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. Money in the Bank is going to determine a lot. I think even Saturday Night's main event will determine the future
Exactly.
as well.
Yeah. But yeah. Cool. Anything else you want to talk about, Ryan? How you suck at 2K?
No. I beat his ass in 2K.
Oh my god.
But I'm trying to think.
Well, I guess that's
Well,
it.
no, I will say this. So, out of the last few reigns he's had, John Cena's already having a longer reign as world champ than I think his last one.
Yeah.
When he won 16, he's only champ for 2 weeks. He's already been champion for a month.
Yeah. Look, that's kind of a crazy stat to think about. Oh, you know who we didn't talk about? I mean, look at SummerSlam is coming up, and I'm pretty sure they're going to want him on the show. Is Roman Reigns? Where does he factor into things?
Yeah. Do we get? I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but some people are saying like, I don't think it's gonna happen at SummerSlam. I don't think it needs to happen at SummerSlam. People are saying you're gonna have Roman and CM Punk teaming up together. I don't think it should be at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Unless they do it on like one night and the other night, but I don't think they should do that.
Right.
But I definitely do think we are going to get Roman Reigns and CM Punk as a tag team. But
Some
the
point.
interesting part is, are they going to be able to coexist?
Exactly.
And I think you're going to tease tension, and I think that could lead to CM Punk versus Roman Reigns down the line.
Could be.
Because I do think we are getting CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
Oh.
Whoops. But yeah, I do think we are getting CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah, at some point.
Down the line at some point.
Yeah, one-on-one we haven't seen it. We had the triple threat at WrestleMania, but yeah, one-on-one we still haven't seen it yet.
And then when he was in the Shield, we saw Punk take him on I think a 1-on-3 handicap match.
Yeah.
Or in tag match. But yeah, I don't think we've ever seen CM Punk versus Roman Reigns 1-on-1.
Right.
So that would be interesting. But yeah, we'll see where Roman factors in on the card. I don't think he'll be in the world title picture.
No.
No, I don't think we'll see Roman in the world title picture again for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll even see if he's gonna factor in the Money in the Bank. He's gonna be involved. Is he gonna make his return at Money in the Bank?
Right.
Is he gonna get involved in whatever match Seth is in?
Right.
Or maybe if Seth's in Money in the Bank, are we gonna see Roman get involved?
Right. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Roman will be in the Money in the Bank match.
We'll see.
I'm not saying he will be, but there is one thing Roman hasn't done. He has never won Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying he will, but that's an interesting tidbit right there.
Exactly. Or I mean, look, do they kind of pivot? Did they put him in a match with Cena?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is, but I do think we do see a heel Cena versus
A babyface
Roman.
I think that's really
and I do think Cena would pick up the win this time because he's 0-2 against Roman on television.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're not counting like multi-man matches and like house shows, he's 0-2 against Roman in on TV, and if Roman could use that, it'll be like you haven't beat me in a one-on-one match.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That could be your story right there, and then Cena gets the win, and basically Cena beats like the one guy who was deemed to be his replacement.
Right. Yeah. They had the feud in 2021. I don't think that feud was that great, to be honest. When Cena came back in 2021, the summer.
Well, I think that's just because he had a very limited amount of time.
Yeah.
Their feud when they faced at No Mercy, that was good.
I mean, yeah,
that
was always
good.
Bring that up, the infamous promo.
Oh yeah, Cena could be like, hey, be like, who helped? Be like who? Be like. So I'm like fumbling my words here, but it's like it took you so long to finally branch out on your own and make a name for yourself. And who helped you do that? Me.
Right. Exactly.
And he can be like, you still need another guy to do your talking. You had Paul Heyman do your talking for you. Cena could be like, I've never had to have anybody do the talking for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think there's a very interesting dynamic there. You have a few angles the story could go for a potential feud.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I definitely think Cena versus Roman is a possibility.
Exactly. But yeah, cool. Sounds good. All right.
Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's about it. Just look out for more stuff. We're going to be back with another episode next week. We'll do Money in the Bank predictions. And heck, we might do something fun on top of that. maybe our best Money in the Bank matches. I think we already know what number 1 is going to be, but other Money in the Bank matches, we could get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we could even do where like the best Money in the Bank winners or we could even do like the best cash-ins.
Tune
We
in to
could have
find
fun
out.
with it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
that would be interesting because I think our list would be very different.
I think so too.
Very different.
All right. But yeah. All right.
But yeah,
Sounds good.
that's it. That's another episode of Rasslin with Ryan. Thank you guys for listening and tuning in. This guy just
It's your
this
show.
guy. Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. The support. We appreciate it. We're definitely gonna try to be on top more and give you more content. We're gonna try to be more active on the Instagram and the Twitter. So yeah, so we have a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff in the works. So thank you guys for your support and continuing to watch our podcast, listen to it.
Exactly.
So yeah, so
all right. Till then, take care.